Hello, welcome to the Nintendo Bros podcast. This is Pete,
And this is Derek.
and we have an exciting episode. This is episode 72, and we're talking about the recent Mario Kart World Direct. Mm-hmm. You watched it, right, Derek?
I've skimmed through it.
Skimmed through it. I've seen it like 5 times.
I watched it and I read about it. It's been a very busy day, so I haven't fully sat down and watched it through. But I got the gist of it.
Okay,
but
well,
I'm curious for you to kind of highlight parts of it.
I suggest you. I made a big list of what we learned and still some questions, and I've been feeding on it all day, watching it multiple times. I watched it on different computer, TV, phone, and also I've skimmed through it slowly, and I've watched a lot of analysis videos and reaction videos to it. So I'm pretty well versed on it now.
Okay.
It seems like there's a weird reaction to it online. Just before we jump into the actual feedback, it seems like people's expectations were perhaps too high. Some people are disappointed. I think people expected some crazy story mode, and I saw speculation that people thought you'd be able to get off your cart and run around.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's never gonna happen.
No, there's no way.
But people did expect a story mode of sorts.
Yeah, I expected that too.
Okay, well, for one, Derek, I suggest you watch it because, and I gotta say, beyond all the expectations, it's a beautiful game. It shows off a lot of cool locales, and it's the music though. The music in it is so good, and it throws in a lot of classic Mario songs. It throws in a remix of the title song from Super Mario Kart on the SNES. It throws in a Bomb on Battlefield track. It throws in a Yoshi's Story song with on the flute. If you just watch it for the music, this game's gonna have a really good soundtrack with a lot of throwbacks to different Mario games with kind of that jazz remix. So the number one thing for me that I was stoked on this was the music is great.
Cool. Okay, that excites me too.
So I guess let's just jump in. I made a list of some of the things we learned today. I will say this video was more like an overview video than it was a direct. It was only 16 minutes, and half of it's stuff that we already know. I've been watching a lot of analysis videos from the Treehouse and the trailer, so a lot of this stuff is kind of known from seeing little bits of the menu and things in the background. So I kind of knew a lot of this, but it is kind of your general overview for the game. But it kind of
that's what I went in expecting it to be. Even from the parts I kind of went through, it highlights the different modes and the different characters and open world and stuff. I don't really know what else you expected it to be, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. My expectations were in a weird spot. I wasn't sure what to expect, and there was an element where I left this direct kind of being oh, that's it? I kind of wanted one more thing, but I'm insatiable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's what I read online, where a lot of people were kind of walking away saying, oh, we didn't really get much information that we didn't already know.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about the price, and Bill Trinan of Nintendo America said, wait for the direct, it'll tell you why the price is higher, and I don't know if this direct really justified that element. But beyond that, let's jump into some of the new info, Derek. I'll just go through it here. We learned that Rainbow Road is an unlockable if you beat all the cups.
Yeah, I saw that part where it hinted at that.
I mean, we kind of already knew that.
I'm curious what you think Rainbow Road is going to be.
Well, I actually put that question here. I actually think it's going to be either one really long track or it'll be a cup. Because it doesn't fit into any of the other cups. You know what I mean? How does that work?
Yeah. So I have 2 ideas. One, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of, whether it's Rainbow Road or not, a level that's going through 16 courses, and that's the whole course. You know what I mean? A good gauntlet level. I don't
part of Knockout Tour kind of thing. It's the end of a Knockout Tour. Yeah,
but even bigger than that. I think there might be a level where it's just go hit all 32 courses or whatever, and you just drive it's just a 28-minute run or something crazy.
Would it be a Knockout Tour, a Grand Prix, or what would that be?
I don't know. I have no idea. I envision that would be really fun if maybe it is a Knockout Tour or something.
They had that on Double Dash. They had an all cups cup where you basically did all 16 tracks in a row.
So that's exactly. I think that'd be cool. I also would love if I'll get to the Rainbow Road in a sec. I'm just brainstorming here. I'd also love if they had a mode where it was like, hey, everyone starts in this spot, and you had to complete a lap on these 4 courses in the world. You could do them in any order. So people are just like driving, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't make it so far away that you never see another person, but it'd be cool if you could like, be driving the opposite direction with other people. I don't know. But as far as the rainbow,
that will never happen.
Okay. As far as
it's too wild of an idea. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as the Rainbow Road goes, I think it could just be like a rainbow literally going over the world, and that's one long stretch of a level, and like that is the level.
Okay.
But I'm actually more leaning towards it's a cup, and you drive a rainbow up into outer space, and there's 4 levels or 3 levels or however many there would be at that point in outer space, and then you finish by ending on the other side of the rainbow.
Yeah, I think something like that too. Like I think it's actually going to be like a Grand Prix Cup.
Me too.
Where it might be kind of a vague cup where like rather than doing the other Grand Prix, like you do 3 laps of the first race and then you basically do 1 lap of all the other races with the travel distance between.
That's what I think. I think it will be like that.
Yeah, okay, but something. But I think it might just be treated like one big long rainbow cup. Like I don't know, it might some gray area between being 4 races. I mean, you're right. It's probably got to be four separate races.
Like I could see it being like the first level of the 3 laps is like a space station or a blast off kind of whatever, and then you go up the rainbow. You do a Bowser's airship cruise, like one of those kind of sky levels, and then you go into the outer space. You do an outer space level, and then you do the final race to the very end, and do like
yeah. I mean, I'm still excited for it because the fact that they've hidden it kind of gets me excited, and I'm really hoping it's more of like a special cup with like multiple tracks because every Mario Kart's had a special cup that they kind of hid, and it'd be fun to get more juice out of this, and also something you can do as a Grand Prix or a knockout tour on its own versus just a single race. It'd be weird if it was just a single race.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a single race.
Yeah, me neither. But I'm excited nonetheless. It'll probably be leaked before the game comes out. There's also we saw Balloon Battle, the battle modes. Balloon Battle and Coin Battle are coming back.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So I was skimming through this. I just have a question. Is it like I want to say it's Mario Kart 7, might be 8 as well, where the battle happens on racetracks already, or is there designated battle courses?
No, there's designated maps. They are part of the world. One's like a chunk of a city with kind of ramps and stuff. One's the big donut. One is in the dinosaur area, which seems like just kind of like a big open park. So they are seemingly on the actual map, but they are kind of like sequestered areas for you to battle on. They got to bring back Block Fort. I was like dreaming that there'd be like, oh, the battle mode's like in this underground facility that has Block Fort and triple decker.
They might though. There might be a Block Fort somewhere.
Yeah, we've saw about 4 battle maps in this. I think one was an icy area, one was a city area, one was Big Donut, one was like a dinosaur area. I'd imagine there'll be like 7 or 8 maps. The one thing that I did notice, and a lot of people are speculating, they didn't really get deep into it, but Balloon Battle is, they mentioned you eliminate your opponents. So it's the style from like Mario Kart DS and N64 where like an opponent will actually get wiped out. Yeah. I hope it's not just a translation thing. But I also noticed there's a timer. So I'm confused on how that works. Like, how is there a timer if there's also elimination style? But it also kind of brings up that question where if you have a map big enough for 24 racers or even 12 racers in Mario Kart 8, when you're down to 2, that race could go, that battle could go forever,
Yeah. I think that's probably the truth of it.
Yeah, it's probably like you get eliminated, but like it's still points based by the end, or who has the most balloons by the end.
That's what I think it is too. It's probably eliminations, but every time you hit someone, you get 1 point, and then every time you eliminate someone, you get 3 or something, and then it'll.
I don't know about that because it showed on the direct that like if you had 5 balloons, it had a little 5 in the corner, but you also could get someone else's balloons. And in classic other Mario Kart battle modes, if you like use the feather and jump over someone, you steal a balloon. Or if you hit them with a mushroom, you steal a balloon. Yeah. Or a star, or I think a star as well. Maybe I'm wrong. But like if you hit them with a shell, I don't think you.
I'm just trying to think of how to keep track of a point system.
I think it's just how many balloons, who has the most balloons by the end.
I know, but it's a little silly if both people want to have 4 balloons, or the other thing is if one person has one but has eliminated 18 players, and the other person just hid in the corner the whole time and has 5. Why should they win?
Good point. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, they didn't really. I expected like them to go a little more detail. They're like balloon battle's back, shot.
Like they really
and
could have
coin
broken
battle.
down everything. Like they
Yeah,
could have gone more detail of everything. But the thing just remember, this is coming out in what, 6 weeks?
I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coin battle is back, which I'm kind of like, okay. You just collect coins, and if you hit someone,
I wish they
coins
brought
fall.
back Shine Battle.
Same. Shine Thief should have come back. Bomb battle should have come back. But we'll talk about later, like what maybe if there's going to be DLC and what we predict. They showed time trial mode, which is same old. You download people's time trials online, and you can race on the track by yourself, kind of standard. It showed the tricks again. We've seen wall riding, we've seen grinding, but it showed like this jump trick that some people were able to pull off at the hands-on. But like basically, you hold down the jump button and drive straight, and you get a boost, and then you jump.
Oh, cool.
People think this might be some of the new meta, but it also allows you to like jump over shells that are coming at you and like jump up onto platforms a little higher and things like that than you could just with a regular jump.
It just for clarity, it's different than the feather, because I saw the part with the feather where you can jump over items, but this is actually a charged jump as well.
I believe the feather is like the biggest jump. The regular hop is just a small jump, and then this was something in the middle of that.
Okay.
That's what I think. I could be wrong, but it seems it also comes with a boost, and I think you have to like go straight for a bit, like you have to charge it going straight.
Okay.
We also saw a rewind ability, so like if you miss a jump, you can just totally rewind yourself, kind of like Prince of Persia.
What? Is that in just free roam, or is that can't be in Versus?
How have you not watched this 15-minute direct and we're having a Nintendo Bros podcast about it? Like, come on, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll just describe to you. You can fully rewind yourself.
But I get it.
Let me explain it.
Yeah.
Let me explain it because I watched the direct. But the caveat is, but if this makes sense, the caveat is nobody else rewinds. So if you're in a big race and you miss a jump and you rewind it, they go, you can rewind any time, but nobody else rewinds. So like, don't fall into last place because they show a guy rewinding and going from like second place to 24th.
But do you? I'm sure this probably wasn't shown. Does it control the length of the rewind? Can you just stop rewinding whenever you want?
I don't know about that. They didn't show that. I don't think it's like you can rewind like 5 seconds. I think it's like a full-on like 5-second rewind.
I'm just like it sounds like kind of like the Lakitu where it picks you up, but just a different kind of style of it, right?
Well, no, it's literally like Prince of Persia. Like it's like you see your guy go right back through the same track.
I get that. I just mean, if it stalls you and makes you waste time, just like the Lakitu, I don't see a functional difference between the two. Like to me, that's not I like that it's different, but it doesn't really make it that exciting for me.
I think it's more for when you're in free roam or time trial and you're just trying to learn a special shortcut.
Like in my personal opinion, I would love if I played with friends that could be turned off. I don't think I would want that.
Or it's like you just screwed up so badly, or you're in first and you're trying to showboat. You know what I mean? Like there's a few options for it. But yeah, they showed it fully in a race with 24 racers, and they showed someone like using it and screwing themselves. So it is interesting. I think if you could only rewind for like 3 seconds, that might still work, but it might be weird, right? It showed a toad missing a jump and then rewinding and making the shortcut jump. So maybe I don't know. It seems like
I see. I hate that. But
I think it's like you have to do it a certain length of time. So like it actually screws you always. But I think it's more for like if you're trying to make a big jump or trying to like you're staying up on a big ledge on free roam and you fall, like I don't have to go all the way back up there kind of thing. They also showed a versus mode customization where you can choose the track. Apparently you can choose any track and do 3 laps on it, even though in Grand Prix you can't.
I saw that, yeah.
And you can also choose to the course between tracks. From what I saw, it's like, so versus you can actually pick which courses you do, and depending on which ones you pick, you can select which intermediate highway you take, if that makes sense. Yep. And I believe
cool.
In the online mode during race, it'll be the same type of system. So like, like We'll get to mode in a bit because it was later in the direct.
I
But
gotta say, I'm still a little bit disappointed that Grand Prix can't just be 3 laps of all 4 courses. Like that bums me a bit. I really don't think the highway stuff is as interesting. Like I get it's a new mechanic, and I'm sure it'll actually be great. It just that kind of underwhelms me a bit.
you know what, Derek? I completely agree. And I watched a lot of the treehouse stuff and gameplay from hands-on. It's like it makes every race except for the first one feel so short, and it seems to kind of defeat the purpose of like dropping bananas for subsequent laps.
Yeah, or like learning kind of the track, right? Learning the
Yeah.
ins and outs. Yeah.
So it's different, and there is no like classic way to do it. Only in versus battle, which is like with friends, can you really, or maybe online, is that really going to work?
Online has it. I saw that.
Yeah. So it's still there in a way, and it's also like some of these tracks are not really designed around 3 laps. So I imagine there's just like some weird warp at the end that brings you back to the beginning. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how that works. But yeah, and like in the versus customization, there's also team mode, and you can like split into 4 teams, which seems kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
these are things that
was
I
cool.
don't think you can do online, so I'll probably never do them unless I'm in a group.
Just out of curiosity, I saw the online part of it. Are you gonna be kind of like you, same as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where online is the majority of the way you're gonna be playing this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's just too easy with the CPU. I'll probably beat the game first and free roam. I'm
Do
gonna
you
play a
think?
lot of.
Do you think? But let me rephrase my or follow up the question. Do you envision Mario Kart World being you're playing with randoms mainly, or you're gonna like buddy up with people and do kind of what they were showing, where you can play in kind of a small group of friends?
I mean, mostly with randoms because how often can you like get a bunch of your friends together? But I mean, if you
Yeah,
have it,
true.
and it's one of my questions later of like, because I have a question section after what we learned is like, how does it work with two? Like, if you and I want to play online, the way it works in Mario Kart 8 is if you and I made a room and like made our own, selected our maps and did all the special functions, it was you and me plus CPU only
Yeah, you can
naturally.
invite. Yeah,
But if we wanted to play together online, one of us had to join the other, which was kind of an annoying process. And I have a feeling it's going to be the exact same.
I have, as I always have said on every episode of Nintendo Bros, when we talk about internet or online, I assume the absolute worst when it comes to Nintendo. The most roundabout, terrible idea, cumbersome way of doing things. That's how they do it. Truly.
Well, but at the same time, I will say that I thought the online mode was going to be 12 players only with 12 CPUs because apparently I was hearing this online. Once you have 24 players, you can't really do peer to peer online. So it's basically they have to run servers for this game. Meaning that on Mario Kart 8, if everyone's running off of one person's Switch as like the peer to peer, and that person quits, the whole game quits. And remember how many like communication errors there were with
Oh yeah, yeah.
servers that will not happen. So we won't get kicked as much, which is a good thing. So I believe I believe F-Zero 99 was Nintendo's first online game with servers. I mean, other than there were other 99 games, Tetris 99, but like the F-Zero 99 runs really well. And so people might speculate, okay, this was maybe testing for Mario Kart. So that's a good thing we can like deduce from this. And Nintendo's not the company that's going to come out and say, hey, it's dedicated servers. But I think we can expect a much smoother online experience without like the little bit of jank from past.
Yeah, I actually have total faith in that regard. Where they are upgrading the to Switch 2, so I expect the online to be upgraded as well. I just think the actual design of how they handle online is going to be so backwards.
Well, it shows it. It shows it in the direct,
Yeah, I saw
and
that. But
it looks identical to Mario Kart 8, like the
yeah,
same menu.
I just, if you think like you mentioned before, Xbox 360 had quite a lot more robust online in some ways. So I just wish Nintendo took that a little bit more seriously and just had a little bit more, functionality and
I mean, at the very least, there is this
features.
party chat feature, so we can at least do that. Like you and I can join a party, and we can join a Mario Kart together, and then maybe we can like, you switch and play other games and still be part of that party chat. So at least they
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it's better than what it was before.
Yeah, and they didn't. To their credit, they didn't show what happens when you go to that friend menu. Like it'd be nice if you could go to the friend menu and like wait till you're with a friend to join.
I wish there was a like with the treehouse, I know they showed games after the Switch 2 Direct. I wish they broke down more into like this is this feature and this is what these things do, and like, I get it's coming soon, so it's not the biggest deal, but it would just be nice to know more of how everything works.
I feel like Nintendo, they very much, that's not really their style in
totally.
PR.
I know it's not, yeah.
They're more like, hey, look, Mario's back and has this weapon, and it's like we want to know like the structure of the tech and how menus work. But anyways, moving on, they have unlockable costumes, which you get from food, and when you unlock a costume, you get it forever.
So I saw all that. But the question I didn't see, because I probably skipped this part, is the character selection menu. Do you click a character and then switch the costume, or is every costume a different character? Because it looks like there's pages of characters.
This has been a big talking point online. The user interface with choosing characters is kind of weird, because I thought it was just part of the Treehouse demo that they had it that way, but no, it looks like the full game is like pages and pages and pages. Which is really awkward and annoying, because it's like, oh, I gotta like go to page 8 to get the character I want. However, there is a sort feature, like in the bottom corner, the X button sorts it. So that does, I imagine it'll be sorting between like costumes or characters that you see Mario's page with Mario plus his costumes, and maybe even a sorting option where it's like most chosen. I don't know how that's going to work, or maybe the sort feature or a sub menu allows you to completely change it. Who knows? I find it really obnoxious too. That
like to me, like again, that's just it's like so cumbersome. There's such a better way to do that.
Well, Mario Kart 8 did it. Right.
Exactly.
And when you chose Shy Guy or Yoshi in that game, it brought a sub menu open and you could choose. So this seems like this is probably one of the big weird blemishes of the game, and I'm just not sure what their thinking is there. I think they just kind of wanted it big and colorful for people to see, but I mean, with 50 characters, like it's almost ridiculous how many pages of characters there are, because you can see the dots on the bottom, and like there's like 150 character variations, and it's just kind of like, okay, like are we really scrubbing through menus? Like it's just like when you think about Smash Bros or Street Fighter and like seeing all the characters on one screen, like there's such a beauty to that page that is lost.
They almost should have made it like Smash Bros. The thing too is, what game was I just thinking of another game that does something very similar. Like Smash Bros does it well. Another game that just like I lost the game. I'll think of it in a second. But there's another game that reminds me of like just walls and walls of scrolling through characters, which is just bad design.
Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, I don't think they're going to change that, but maybe there is like the sort option will help with that. It's not a huge deal in the end. It's just a little bit of like like it's also they can show bigger character models on that screen.
Yeah, like I get that there's some niceness about that, like you said, a bigger character model, and like even a sort feature is kind of cool. But again, like it's just logistically it doesn't make sense to me.
It's weird. So the other thing they showed off, which we kind of already knew about, was the new weapons.
I watched this whole thing. Ice Flower, like the one that interests me the most. I know you're going to talk about all of them in a second. The one that interests me the most is the Magic Koopa or Magic Kamek, yeah. Just because it kind of explained that there's weird stuff that can happen, but it also said, oh, you'll find out what other surprises there are, which gives me kind of that Mario Wonder vibe of, oh, like maybe there's some weird things that can happen with that. It's like a roll of the dice, maybe.
Yeah, well, we saw enough of people getting Kamek during the hands-on events, and basically what it does is Kamek kind of flies above you, then flies way ahead, turns everybody into like a select enemy, like a Goomba or a charging Chuck or something like that, and then charging Chucks and Goombas are all over the track in front of them. So it creates like a hazard on the track. So basically what will happen is if you're ahead of the person who gets the Kamek item, Kamek will fly over you. You'll see your character transform into a Goomba for like 2 seconds, and then you'll see a bunch of Goombas on the track in front of you. The thing that's weird about that is like, what if I've already chosen Goomba? Or charging Chuck? Like,
there must be some kind of trick to remove the one that you are or something.
Yeah, or just kind of like makes your guy float up or turn purple for a second. But it is interesting. It adds chaos. There's also, I really think the Hammer Bros hammer is cool. A cool item.
That one, I thought that one was super cool too. I like that it stays. You can kind of like wall people off. That was probably one of my favorite items that I saw.
The Ice Flower to me is like, what's the point? It's the same as the Fire Flower. It doesn't seem to like have any different effect. It just kind of slows you down.
And the Mega Mushroom is classic. Like,
yep,
we've seen it before.
And the coin shell's neat enough. Coins now give you like a dedicated boost. They did in
They
Mario Kart 8, but now they always did, but now it's like you really see the boost in the flames. So it's like really, it's quite obvious you get a boost now.
Okay, sweet.
I think in Mario Kart 8 it was very subtle. You can get 20 coins as well.
From what I remember is in every past Mario Kart that I can remember from even from N64, coins raised your max speed. So it didn't make you go faster at the moment. It just mean that you had a higher potential.
Yes, but I believe that if you got the coin item and used it, it did give you a little subtle boost. People found.
Oh, I also know that after you get 10,
You go faster.
like, yeah.
Well, I think you go faster no matter how many you have. So if you have 5, you're going faster than 0.
I know. I just couldn't remember if after 10, if you got like an 11th coin, did that give you like a little mini speed boost?
Only if you have it as an item.
Okay.
So it's like, the one item I don't think is making a comeback is the question block, the fake question block.
And you know what? That to me, that again makes sense. And I think that raises the point of what you were saying with the banana too. It's like a lot of the races are not going to be loops. So, if someone sees you put it down, they're just not going to get that item, and then they'll never see it again.
Exactly. And I haven't seen the blooper yet, but I think it is back. The one that sprays ink on your screen. That's my least favorite, but I think it is back. But at least with more items, it seems like the race will be more interesting. Like there'll be more different items that you're going to get versus like the same old 10, right?
Yeah. And just a quick question: maybe they didn't show this, but I'm curious what you think is the lightning item. Do you think even if you're far away on very far away in the highway, it'll still work?
I think so, but it shows now that the lightning doesn't make you small for that long. A lot of the items and being hit by items now, you continue your momentum. Where like before, if you got hit with a red shell, like you'd fly up in the air and completely stop. Now it's like you kind of just roll forward and keep going. And it's also the same, like if a bullet bill hits you from behind, you don't spin out anymore. You just kind of like go up on one wheel and then come back. Same with hitting a vehicle. So that it's a lot of the momentum of this game seems to carry forward. Like you don't really come to a halting stop.
I like that.
We also learned that, unfortunately, 3 to 4 player split screen is 30 FPS. Which it's kind of expected, but it sucks.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. But
we learned that the online lobby is basically free roam. So you're basically free roaming in the world during the lobby.
Yep.
And if you join a friend and you and I are like waiting to join up and we're both driving around the lobby, it's annoying because on the bottom it has that little press start to play the whole time. So like you and I can be like, it shows friends racing around, 8 players taking pictures, like just having a good time. And it even shows on the map screen when you like warp to where your friend is, it still shows the legend of the things you unlocked in the open world. So I imagine you and I could just race around the open world and unlock things at the same time.
Yeah, do things together. That'd be cool.
But it does have this little thing on the bottom, like start your race, which is like, okay, like make that go away.
Yeah, maybe it does over time. Who knows?
Yeah. The online modes are race, knockout tour, battle, and the friends option. So it's nice to know that knockout tour, like it's not just race and battle like it used to be. Like I'm happy knockout tour is kind of this secondary option.
I like adding. I mean, honestly, when you think of Smash Bros, like every new feature, any features that you can cram to a game like this, I'm appreciative of.
I would have wanted more, to be honest.
Me too.
Like load it up,
as much as you can.
Nintendo. They just don't do that with Mario Kart. But it's nice to finally get a secondary option.
$30 DLC for Shine Thief.
Yeah. They have game chat now with the camera. The camera feature looks pretty cool. Down the line, if I know a lot of people who have a Switch 2, I'll probably get a camera. It's pretty cheap, and I actually think the functionality looks really cool. Someone reported that there's a UFO in the map that picked them up while they were playing at the hands-on. We haven't seen this yet. They're like, oh, there's a UFO that can abduct you.
Oh, that's cool.
So we'll see. And then the last thing that I wanted to say for the end, which is kind of, in my opinion, the big one, is that in free roam, we now know that there's P block challenges, there's peach coins, and there's question mark panels.
But it didn't seem, at least from what I could see of this, it didn't seem like it unlocked anything besides just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Well, we don't really know.
We don't know, but it didn't say that it did.
I certainly think that unlocking these things does something, whether or not it's unlocking characters, costumes, or the stickers.
Yeah, like I'd be shocked if it didn't too. I could see like hitting 10 of those panel switches is how you unlock Bowser Jr. or whatever it is. Yeah.
And they also did show a quick snippet of someone playing where they had only had like one page of characters. So I imagine it's going to be like Smash Bros. Where practically all the characters are unlockables.
That'd be cool.
And I think it's going to be like Smash Bros, where it's like you can do a few cups, or you can do free roam, and like there's many ways to unlock character after character after character. It's not just like Mario Kart 8 where every character is unlocked. Figure it out.
Yeah.
But the P block challenges are interesting because they're almost like little missions, and it's practically like the mission mode from the Mario Kart DS. They showed such a little bit. They showed one where you have to collect like 8 blue coins, and they showed another one where you have to like get to the end in a time where things are being rolling towards you. So I'm hoping the block challenges get more complex and challenging. Like maybe there's some like a boss battle thing where you have to like they give you weapons and you're like a little map area to like take out all the enemies. Or I just hope there's like some real teeth grinding challenge here.
I just also hope that, again, going back to Smash Bros. As kind of this exemplar, I hope there's not 30 of those P block challenges and more like 350 of them.
There's hundreds. They said.
Okay.
They literally said hundreds. So we know there's more than 200.
Perfect. That's like I like to have those things to do.
Yeah, and I think I could be wrong, but I think we saw on the direct today, like someone got one of those Peach coins, and when they got it, it unlocked a sticker, a vehicle sticker. Okay. But people are also speculating that the stickers might be like badges from Mario Wonder, where they actually do something. So like Nintendo has not even talked about stickers, but it's clearly on the menu, the main menu. It's on the main menu of the game, like the sticker option. It's also in the cart selection, where you as soon as you choose a cart, you can press a button and put a sticker on. And it's also not in the versus option. When you're playing versus with friends, it's not there. So people speculate it might be something like gives you like higher probability of getting mushrooms or faster recovery.
I got it. So it's only in the single player.
Yes, it seems like it, or
that's
maybe
cool.
it's So like that's I'm of the opinion like even if it was just like concept art or a checklist, I'd be happy. I'm just happy there's something to do in Mario Kart by myself. Like that's what I've always wanted in Mario Kart. Like I'm so sick of Mario Kart just being like, here's the cups, get gold, the end.
It's fun to just be able to drive around, like literally. That's what I think back to Forza Horizon 5.
Yep.
My favorite thing wasn't really the races; it was just like driving from place to place.
And this world looks gorgeous, and I'm like, there's a part of me that like this is kind of like a Breath of the Wild moment, where like when you're playing Zelda and you're like, I wonder what's beyond that wall. My imagination runs wild, and then Breath of the Wild's like, you can do it. And this is kind of like all the Mario Karts, where like you see these lush things in the background, you see these beautiful trees and woods. And you're like, I want to explore that. That's kind of like this dream of mine to be like, hey, I'm on the course. I'm gonna jump the railing and like explore. And I'm just like, I just can't wait to just explore. And I think kids are gonna love this mode. Like little kids are just gonna like explore forever. And there's so many little things like buildings to go up, things to grind, secrets to uncover. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I can envision. I just meant the kids thing. Like, I can envision our niece and nephew just like literally. You don't have to race. Even you don't have to not be able to hit walls. You just like go wherever you want. I think that you're right. Like, it's so good for young children.
Totally, and I really hope that 2 players can do it simultaneously, like split screen. I don't think it's gonna be there though. I don't think 2 players can do.
Oh, really?
Well,
I feel like they will.
The way the menus laid out on the console is that like free roam is its own button. So there's 1 player, 2 player online, and I can't remember the options or something. And then the free roam is just pressing plus. So I don't know if you'll be able to choose 2 player and then jump into free roam. I hope they haven't shown it yet. I don't think, but it'd just be so fun. I just don't know if the system can handle 2 players split screen racing around the whole world. I'm on one side, you're on the other, activating things. I don't know if that's real, but I think certainly if we both have Switches, we can. That's confirmed. 8 players can do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, Derek, let's. Sorry,
you had some questions. You said
I got some questions here. So in the menus, we've seen there's options to switch the horizontal and vertical camera controls to inverted. What is that for? Why?
Oh, that's for free roam for sure.
That is awesome to me because I love the idea of having a free camera system, and they have not shown that yet.
So I'm betting it's for free roam, because you want to be looking for those hidden things. It also could just be like literally when you're in photograph.
That's what I think. It's just photo mode. They've also spotted, it wasn't covered in the direct, they've also spotted things on the map. Like, those little things in Mario Odyssey that like shoot up in the sky and let you kind of periscope around the map.
Yeah, like the little robot things.
They've
Yeah.
seen that exact same thing here. So I think you can drive up to those and shoot up and look around.
I really hope some of the open world is like, oh, I see a P block at the top of this thing, but how do I actually get up to the top of that mountain or the top of that dragon skull? You know, and like that's where you use one of those things. You're like, oh, I can take the tail and do a jump here, and then I can wall ride here. Like I hope it's a little bit. There's, I don't want to say a puzzle, but like I'd like if there was some kind of, you know, you have to figure out actually how to like wall ride and grind to get there.
I also hope that like there's a system to know like where the P block is that you're missing because
Well, you have the mini map, right, that zooms out, and I'm sure it shows you on that.
it didn't so far. It's not like, but maybe there's a way to like see where the P blocks are that you got, or a checklist or something. Because it's like if I'm driving around looking for that like 180th P block, and like it's like what, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Are there going to be more unlockable characters? We've seen 50 so far, but we don't know where the Bowser kids are. We haven't seen the Kongs. What do you think, Derek?
I think, you know, we've seen, I don't want to say all of them, but I think we've seen the majority of them.
For
as
sure.
far as like you know, the Kongs and whatever, I think either that's DLC or we won't see them. Like I think they're trying to go crazy with it, but I think they also might be limiting it more to like, you know, these are the Mario universe. I don't know.
I love that it's just Mario Universe, and I love that there's like really unconventional Mario enemies now that you can drive as. But I still like the idea of unlockables, and I hope that there are secret unlockable characters that we don't know about. Like old Mario Karts did this, Mario Kart 8 did not. Like Mario Kart 8 and was like, here you go, here's all the characters. So I'm really hoping there's more there that's not DLC, because that'd be really exciting. I mean, I know these characters have to have different costumes and animations, so there's a little more involved than just palette swapping. But man, there's so many characters they could choose from, you know?
Yeah, it's already crazy, so I'm not even complaining if a character is omitted. But I agree with you. It's always nice to have some secret kind of fun characters.
Yeah. I guess we already talked about Rainbow. Is it a Rainbow Road Tracker Cup? I was going to ask, what other kind of P block challenges could there be? Like, we've only seen those two. I'm hoping there's some more comprehensive ones.
I think there really will be some that are like parkouring, where it's like, oh, it's a track, but then you hit the P block and like walls appear and grind rails appear, and it's like you can't touch the ground or the road anymore. You have to wall ride and grind the whole way to the end.
I hope there's like really unique ones that are actually like really hard. Like for example, they're like, hey, beat this is a crazy one. Like beat Waluigi across the entire map. And Waluigi's playing like some sort of like one of the developers, like kind of like a ghost of them, is like playing really good. And like you've got to like really.
I'm telling you right now, those things will not be there.
I don't think. I think you're right, but one can dream, right?
Yes, I mean it'd be very cool.
One of the other things is 200cc coming back? Is mirror mode coming back? Like, are there unlockable cups beyond 150?
I think both of those things are coming back, whether they're going to be there in the base game or in DLC. I'm betting that mirror cup will be in the base game and 200 will be DLC.
Yeah, I was wondering if 200, like they have to know we expect 200. If it's maybe it was like a technical limitation where it's like if you're going 200, then 4-player couldn't run at 30 frames, or it didn't load properly, like there's too much pop in, or just like the way that it loads in like NPCs and other cars in the world, it just like can't handle that at that speed. But I'm hoping it's possible.
I'm sure it can.
Yeah, and there's some unique stuff. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, like you can like do tricks off of other racers' heads and off of vehicles. So you can like use a feather, hop up, bounce off a truck, bounce off a guy. And, like there's gonna be some crazy trick stuff in this.
Yes, definitely.
And
I like the part of the video too where it says like if you jump in certain spots, you can like access certain secret paths and shortcuts.
Yep. And also you can like get in the back of a truck and control like a 18-wheeler truck. Someone in the hands-on like found a boat in the ocean and like got in a boat and it was like this giant mega tank boat. There's cool. Some cool little stuff. And there's also a car that like truck that like races around on a race and like someone throws items out the back. So like they're just throwing stars and mushrooms like out the back of the truck.
That's cool.
So there's I think there's going to be a lot of unique little things in this, and the thing is the world's so chock full of like Mario characters and life, and you can look in the windows of buildings and you see toads in there, and every car has like a toad or a Koopa driving it. It's really neat.
Yeah, I like this is true about Nintendo for a long time, but I really like what I saw as far as like you said, it feels very immersive. Like it feels like you're actually in their world.
Yeah, it's like you're exploring Mario World, and I saw someone online. He's like, finally, we can follow around the trucks and know how like the Mushroom Kingdom operates and like how deliveries are made. I was like, oh wow. So Derek, next thing I want to ask, what was missing for you? Like, what did you wish was here, and what do you hope could come in DLC realistically?
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed the head. I don't think it's going to come in DLC, but I think you nailed the head right off the bat. I was hoping for a bit more of a story mode. I was hoping for something akin closer to maybe Diddy Kong Racing or maybe F-Zero GX with like, a little bit more serious missions. I know the P blocks are kind of these mini challenges, just more like boss battles or these like rival races or certain challenges that are a little bit more expanded upon. So I think that, if they made an open world, why not also embrace that kind of element to it? So that's kind of one for me. And, the other one that we talked about 4 times in the past 2 podcasts is, to me, the thing that actually disappoints me the absolute most is that you can't just do the 3
classic GP.
The classic GP.
You got to let that one go, Derek. I don't think we're ever.
I know. And I got to admit, I can sacrifice that for how many cool stuff there's going to be in this game, but it's still a little bit heartbreaking where it's like, I just, I want to play that really cool course that's well designed by Nintendo more than once. Like they made a really cool track, and I only get to race it around it once.
Yeah, but I will say I mostly play online, and it looks like that's still kind of an option in online.
Yes, yeah,
and also, some of the treehouse gameplay is kind of boring because these guys are playing 100cc and way ahead of everybody. But I've watched a lot of stuff from these hands-on events in London and stuff, and there is some really exciting stuff going on. Like, just because there's 24 racers and like weapons flying, like when it's good races, it is still really exciting on those in between stages.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, I agree. Like with this giant world, there's such a playground that they can literally make a story mode on it, and it'd be really cool. There's like a $20 DLC later that's kind of like the Bowser story, where like Bowser's decided to attack the land. You got to go to these 6 points and take on his children in little mini battle modes and a race plus a battle or something.
I felt very similar to that idea as like correct me on the name. Is it Bowser's Fury? The 3D Mario World. So like I could see it being kind of like that, where it's like, a DLC, there is that kind of story mode. Something happens and all of a sudden like you have to drive around and do certain events.
I agree. I think that'd be really cool. And even if it's simple, like, hey, go to this point, here's a new unique race track around the place. Like you're just like going through pillars, but it's like off-roading, and you have to like race one of Bowser's kids and like enemy characters, and like it's like its own little cup, and it doesn't seem like that would be so hard to design, because they can basically make new maps and new Knockout Tour style maps anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
I would love like a cross country type of option where it's like a big map around, like a good like 20-minute one race would be cool with no intermissions.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Kind of like Knockout Tour, but like the whole way. And the other thing I was kind of hoping for, I mean, there could be like new islands. There could be like a Daisy's Cruise. Like they could actually add a whole like DK Island that you go to that has like the Kongs.
That'd be a very cool DLC, yeah.
That'd be awesome. Like there's a really lot they could do. And the last thing I was kind of hoping for was kind of a more exciting balloon battle. I know it doesn't seem that exciting, but I thought it'd be so cool if there was like a massive balloon battle, like a battle royale style, or a Shine Thieves battle royale style, where like it's almost like Fortnite, where there's like 100 players or 50 players, and it's like a shrinking map. So as people die, like they have to stay in this map, and eventually goes down to the last final 2. I just thought something like a really cool battle mode would have been more exciting than the battle modes they included seem kind of like a throwaway,
Yeah. I like that idea. I could see that coming in like a future game. That's a cool idea.
Yeah. So, Derek, I want to get your overall opinion on this direct Mario Kart, your excitement, and are you going to buy a Switch 2 on release day?
Yeah, I mean, I know I skimmed through this direct, so I didn't watch it in the full capacity, but I did a lot of things you talked about. I did see and watch. Um, I liked it. Like I think it's informative, and from the things I saw, it is beautiful. Like there are some really cool stuff here. There are the things that I was missing. I don't think this is like the best. This isn't like a Smash Direct where like I'm frothing at the mouth every moment. It's very cool, and it's awesome that it's coming so soon. It's not like we're waiting 6 more months for this game. It's coming in 6 weeks. I am still kind of tepid towards Mario Kart World, and again, it's not that I don't like the idea. I just again, the main thing really is those highway races. Like that just doesn't do it for me. And then as far as the Switch 2 and getting Mario Kart, like I'm still on the fence too. I don't know.
Okay, I mean, Derek, I will say, like, I've watched a lot of stuff. Like, I literally go to sleep every night just watching Mario Kart gameplay. So it really is a lot better. Like, the Treehouse did not give a good representation. If you watch the gameplay that's not the Treehouse, the races are so much more exciting.
Okay, I'll check out some.
And when you see like 24 real players playing Knockout Tour, like it's like nail biting excitement near every single like gate. Nice. And so I think when the high level play comes on and we're online, like that's where Mario Kart really shines. So I am frothing at the mouth for this game. I think it looks great. I like Mario Kart more than Smash Bros. Mm-hmm. I love just like the more exploratory nature of these games and the amazing music, and it's just like I just love exploring. And I mean, realistically, this game could have been just new tracks and new characters. And like some people were like, "Oh, I want the new Mario Kart to be like just add Smash Bros. Style, add other characters," and it could have just been that. Yeah. And we could have just been looking at, oh, we're doing the cups again, and there's some new tracks, and oh, look, there's like a new weapon and like some new little side thing. And I really like that they decided to just break that mold. Mario Kart 8 is still going to be playable on Switch 2.
Yeah, it's cool that they're trying something new, even if I don't think it's fully fleshed out yet. Like it's a cool direction for Mario Kart to go.
I agree, and it's not unfleshed out. It's the most fleshed out Mario Kart we've ever had.
And I'm not saying it's empty. I'm just saying, there's like you and I said, there's some things that we hope that can come in DLC or that might be in the game that we haven't seen.
I really would have hoped that during this event they would have been like, and like coming this fall is like Bowser's Fury story DLC for Mario Kart, and it's free. Like that would have been like a clincher, I really think they're gonna do DLC in this game. I think they're just gonna charge money for it, and I think it would have been really bad for them to announce paid DLC today.
Yes, 100%.
But free DLC would have been really good. That would have been a real like they could have just literally showed a PNG image like and. This DLC is coming later, like the Adventure of the Kong Island is coming, and like it could have been really exciting, but that might take years to develop, so we might be waiting like a year for that. I am going to get a Switch on day one. I'm going to get a Mario Kart bundle, a Pro Controller, that's probably it. I can't wait. I just can't wait till day one to be soaking in Mario Kart forever. Nice. It's been 10 years. It's going to be in higher resolution and frame rates than ever before. Well, not frame rates, but resolution. Also because it's 60 frames. But also I'm like really excited for Metroid Prime 4, Derek. Did you watch, I know we're running out of time. I just want to touch on some of these things. Did you watch any of the hands-on Metroid Prime 4 stuff?
I got about 2 minutes. So, I watched the Treehouse and stuff, and I watched but to me, after I watched the same, 20 minutes or whatever of the gameplay several times, I got what I got. It looks good. Like I'm not saying that. I just wish I got to see more worlds and environments.
Same. They haven't shown off a lot, but the opening cutscene of this game is amazing. Have you seen the opening cutscene where Samus lands on the planet?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
It's the best cutscene and the best graphics ever on a Nintendo system.
I'll have to watch it again. Like I remember it looking good. I wasn't blown away by it.
It's full stop. Like it's the most polished cutscene with the best graphics, and it's so well designed and it's so polished. Metroid Prime 4 really is the best looking game Nintendo's ever made. And I think it looks great. I'm glad it falls into the kind of mold of regular Metroid Prime. They have not hyped this game properly, but it looks so polished, and you can go up to the what's it called, the Galactic Federation troopers, and you can choose to talk to them, and they're fully voice acted. And they're like, "Whoa, it's Samus! like, thanks for fighting along us, and like, it just looks really, really polished and
That's cool.
classic Metroid Prime. So I'm really excited. Last question, Derek. When do you think Metroid Prime 4 is going to come out?
September 17th.
I agree. I had September as my guess too.
Nice.
All right, Derek. Well, I know. Sorry, we went a little over time here, but
That's okay.
Thanks for talking Mario Kart. I really
Yeah.
hope you change your mind and get on launch day so we can play together. Like, come on.
Yes. Yeah, I know. It's very tempting.
I'm just gonna like. It'd be great to play with someone. If you don't get it at launch, I know you're gonna end up waiting like 6 months, and you'll be just behind the wagon here.
Yeah.
Pun intended. Behind the cart.
Yeah.
All right, Derek. Well, thanks for the chat. This is Nintendo Bros Pete signing out.
This is Derek. See you later.